Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Be Yourself. This is Dr. Rajni and today I am starting the new subject which is cell biology. So in the first module of the cell biology, we will be discussing about the cell theory, modern concept of the cell, endosymbiotic theory and pre-cellular evolution. So I already have started the other subjects also like enzymology, immunology and biochemistry. And if you have not accessed that subjects, that you can find it from the description box. I have provided the link in that. So let us start with the first topic, which is the cell theory. So before entering into the cell theory, let us have a brief introduction about the cell, how it got discovered. So we all know that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Till now we already have studied about this, but why, we will be discussing about this in just a moment. There are two common terms well being used along with the cell biology. One is the cytology and another is the cell biology. So both of these study about the cell, but what the basic difference between these two terminology? In case of cytology, we just examine the cell in their just microscopic examination is there. But in case of cell biology, we study about all the details of the cells, its organelles, its physiochemical action, its evolution, about how it come into existence. All those are studied under the branch of cell biology. But in cytology, we just examine the microscopic particles of the cells, its organelles, under the branch of cytology. Now, so from the very beginning, we were knowing that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. But why we call it as a structural and functional unit of life? Let us discuss about this. So first thing is that, first coming to the structural unit of life, let us see why we call it so. So we know that cells organize to form the tissue system. Tissue organize themselves to form organ, and organ all come together, different organs all come together to form a organ system. So these are all how the cell organized from cell to tissue, tissue to organ, and from organ to organ system. And an organisms consist of a different types of organ systems. So that's why we call cell as a structural unit of our life, because the basic structure or the basic building block, or it is, or we can say it is a brick for the formation of our life. Another thing is the functional unit. As all the structures of the cells, each individual structure or each individual cell carry out their own functions. We also name different types of cells on the basis of presence in different types of organs, as the one which is present inside the liver is known as hepatocytes. So each and every cell has their individual functions. That's why we consider cell as a structural as well as functional unit of life. Let us see how the cell was discovered. I will not go in much depth in that. I will just only pick up those topics which are well focused on in CSIR, JRF NET and other competitive examinations. So it was discovered by the Robert Hooke in 1665. We all know that. This is the picture of Robert Hooke, and he himself has discovered or designed a microscope, and using the microscope which he has designed, he has find that some cork like structure or honeycomb like structure was present in the cell of a cell, and it resembles somewhat like a compartment in a room. So when you enter in any hotel, you may be finding that in the on both sides of the hotel row, usually it happens that there will be two rooms in facing each other, and each compartment or each room of the hotels will be having same facilities and somewhat same structure. So just like that, in the cells also he found that some honeycomb like structure is there, some compartments are there, and he called it as a cell. And about this honeycomb like structure, what he has analyzed, he has written about all those things in his book Micrographia. So this is a pic of Micrographia, and here he has mentioned the minute bodies which the cells of that time. He denoted the cells as the minute bodies met by magnifying glasses. So you can see here he has written all those findings in this book. Next, there are few scientists who were working from the very beginning on the cells. So I will just briefly read out all these things and try to relate this with the cell theory, which is our main topic of study. So first, in 1658 itself, RBCs of the frog was well known. Then I will directly come to the terminology of the cell. Cell was first coined by the term cell was first coined by the Robert Hooke in 1665, at the time when he got discovered about the cell. Then also the nucleolus was also well known in the 1781 itself, and it was first studied by the F. Fontana in the skin cell of eel. Rather, in the plant also it was well stated by Marble in 1802 that the cell is made up of membranous cellular tissues. And lastly, in Lamarck, who is well known in the field of evolution, has said that all life has cells. So all the living organism will be having cells. So nowadays we all know about all these things, so we doesn't find anything new in that. But on that time, when even not good microscope was there, it was well been renowned thing to identify all those things. So you can imagine how the hard work the scientist has done. They himself has designed the microscope and studied about the cells. And even on that time, after that, after you can see the distance from 1665 to 1831, that after the finding of the cells, it was analyzed that nucleus is also present in the cells. So it was first discovered by Robert Brown in 1831 in the orchid root. Now finally coming to the cell theory. And there was actually three scientists who together put forward about the cell theory. So first was the Matthias Jakob Selden. In 1838, he proposed that the cell is the ultimate unit of plant structure. And later on, 1 year later, another scientist was there. He found that not only in plant, rather in animal also, cell constitute the ultimate unit of their structure. So this was the Theodor Schwann in 1839, and they also said that cell has existed due to the process of crystallization. So this statement was disproved by Rudolf Virchow in 1855, and instead of that he said that there is omnis celluli e celluli. So on the basis of the finding of Selden and Schwann in 1838 and 1839, the first statement was well proposed that all living organisms are composed of one or more cells. Next tenets of the cell theory was the cell is the most basic unit of the life, but the third tenet, which was proposed by these scientists, that cell is formed due to crystallization, was disproved by Rudolf Virchow in 1855, and he put forward the theory omnis celluli e celluli, which means all cells arise only from the pre-existing cells. So these three, 1, 2, 3 were termed as the cell theory of that time. But later on, with the discovery of new techniques and new organelles, and with the depth study of the cell, modern theory was also proposed. Though the theme was the same statement you will find in the modern theory in some technical way. As here I have put few of the modern interpretation about the cell, that is that all living things are made of one or more types of cells. So this was well stated in the cell theory also. I will just highlight those things which is bit different from the cell theory. One statement is here, energy flow. So energy, there is a flow of energy in the form of metabolism or some biochemical energy will occur within the cells. So this also justify that cell is the ultimate source or ultimate point for the life organism, as the basic metabolic reaction is carried out within the cells, and that's why I think now you have started understanding that why it is known as a functional unit. Next thing was that in the cell theory it was said that cell existing from the pre-existing cells. Here the same thing is there, only the modification is what, the modernization of the statement is what, that cell contain DNA and this DNA is passing from one cell to another, and this is conserving the heredity of any organisms. So these were the modern interpretation, and on the basis of above modern interpretation, these three statements were refined, and this is the refined or modern version of the cell theory, which is: first is the energy flow occur within the cells. Number second is the hereditary information or DNA is passing from one cell to another. And last one is that all cells has some basic chemical compositions. So these were all about the cell theory, how the old version of cell theory has changed into the modern interpretation, because the techniques has developed and they started learning more about the cells. So I hope you like the video. In the next class we will be dealing about the endosymbiotic theory of the cell. So don't forget to subscribe and share my channel. Till then, goodbye and enjoy your lockdown.